Back in the 70s, board games and improv theater had a baby, and it was called the role-playing game. These games allowed a generation of kids to live out their dreams of slaying dragons and saving kingdoms, all while sitting in their bedrooms and basements. Today, gaming has moved into the cultural mainstream, and role-playing games are back with a vengeance. Join us now as 5 of these former kids come out of the basement and onto the internet to experience adventure, mystery, and obscure pop culture references. It's time for Roll for Combat!
Hey everyone, welcome to Roll for Combat. I'm your GM and host Stephen Glicker, and in this week's show, well, last week, Mo and Rusty were sort of killed, and the big bad came back to life and is now starting to attack what is remaining of the party. So I guess we're going to find out what happens to everyone else this week. Also this week, my GM PC tip is why you should make your enemies surrender. Also, guess what, everyone? Last year I had a big contest in where I ended up sending 4 people to PaizoCon. It was actually 3, but one was a husband and wife team. And they all went to PaizoCon for free. We paid for their airfare and their hotel room. And we're going to do it again this year. That's right. Starting next week, I'll start giving out details of how you need to enter, what you need to do, but it's going to be pretty much the same thing as last year. You just listen to the episodes. I'm going to ask you a question about each episode, and then after a couple of weeks, you guys will fill out a form and then enter. I'll randomly select someone to go to PaizoCon for free this year. A couple of caveats, if you remember, you do have to live in the continental US, and you do have to be 18 years or older. And I do believe there's a couple of other things here and there, but that's the general gist. So starting next week, do listen to the show from beginning to end, because I usually put the information on PaizoCon at the very end of the show. And of course you need to listen to the show so you know what the heck is going on. So look for that next week. If you guys are interested in going to PaizoCon this year, should be a pretty good one. They are going to be introducing Pathfinder version 2 and new Starfinder stuff, and of course I'll be there and the other guys will be there. And last year we had a great time, and now there'll be even more Roll for Combat guys there this year, so it should be a great time had by one and all. However, I'm sure a lot of you guys want to hear what the heck is going to happen this week, since half the party kind of died. Well, let's get right to the show and pick up where we last left off. As you guys take a hand and take a 10-minute rest, the dust comes back and reforms into the vampire and attacks.
Well, wait a minute. Is this before we rest?
John Statz is playing the Vesk soldier, Mo Dupinsky.
Yes, it's happening in just a few seconds.
Actually, I'm the only one who didn't say I was going to rest.
Bob Marquis is playing the human envoy, Rusty Carter.
All right.
Yeah, I was heading over there to check to loot it, and it comes in.
Chris Beamer is playing the Lashunta operative, Hiroji.
It only happened a few seconds after combat.
Okay.
It happened. It was. I didn't want to go through like 3 or 4 rounds. It was just like 15 seconds after. The dust is reforming, and it's not attack of opportunity. It all happens at once.
All right.
And there's nothing to attack. It's instant. And she will claw 2 attacks. Let's see, Mr. Mo.
Mo's dead.
There's one. And then number 2 will take me out. Right. All right. All you guys, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. I'll be back in a bit.
Tuttle, there's knife work need doing.
Tuttle, Hiroji, Cheddar, you guys better get her back up here. She's not dead.
She's back, vampire. We didn't dump rice on her.
Actually, let me redo this, because this actually is not quite right. Sorry, I actually messed that up. Okay, Mo, you are up.
Huh?
Well, you're down, but you're not dead. So you dropped, and now you can spend a resolve point to stabilize.
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay, so you say you spend your resolve point. There, you got 4 left. Rusty, do you spend your resolve point to stabilize?
I think he went AFK. So the answer is yes.
Of course. Yeah, it's
Okay, now Tuttle, Hiroji, and Cheddar are back up. You guys go. Now she's on the ground prone. She doesn't have any of her gear or anything. She's naked.
It's like all sort of lying around her, right?
Yeah. And she just basically attacked with her claws.
All right. Well, I mean, even with a lot of minuses, I'm going to take a shot at her.
Jason McDonald is playing the Yosoki mechanic Tuttle Blacktail and his drone Cheddar.
I mean, it's prone and cover for Hiroji.
2 will not do it. Wait, Cheddar's up.
Okay.
No, Cheddar's up.
Oh, yeah.
Cheddar's up. Hiroji. It's at your feet.
All right. Let's do the sneak attack. That is 26.
26.
nice.
Does it.
Okay, barely. Okay, she's my target. I can bounce around. Let's do the move first, and I'll shoot. Okay.
You kill her. She disintegrates into
damage.
a pile of ash. You can roll the other 18. There you go.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it probably
man.
matters actually. Quick! What? How do we kill this thing forever?
Okay. Yes, she disintegrates back into a pile of dust. Let's see. Mo, do you wish? Okay, let's wait till Bob is back. Bob is back yet?
Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I was just listening.
Okay. What are you guys gonna do? There's a pile of dust here.
All right.
Mo
What
and
I'm
Dusty
thinking is,
stabilize.
I already failed a high mysticism check, so I'm not going to figure this out. But I'm thinking we take the dust and throw it into the acid.
Well, yeah, and just separate the jewelry or what. There's items in the dust. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, all the
Gear.
equipment's in the dust. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's just separate the dust from her effects. Shall we? I mean, that's what Mo says. Reclining in on the ground.
And like I'll like maybe shoot it again a couple times. I don't know if that does anything, but just to try and do more damage. So if it's still healing, it takes it longer to do that. So I will shoot it again with a sneak attack.
I vote for the ashes thrown in the acid
Yeah.
decision.
Yep.
Moving its equipment away is fine. It's attacked with claws, though. It's not actually raising and shooting anyone. Oh, actually,
Well,
I'm unconscious. I
It might
no-
have some.
What am I talking about?
No, you're not unconscious.
No, I'm gonna say you spend. Do you
You're-
spend 1 resolve point to get up and heal yourself one?
You're 1 hit point.
Your 1 hit point.
So we do that.
And I move
Okay.
over here.
Okay, you do
And
that.
I pull out my gun and I hold it on her.
Good. Okay, you're doing all that. Okay, what are you doing, Hiroji? Are you taking the dust, or you're shooting it? So
I
what
shoot it
does Mo
one more
do?
time with
Okay.
for max damage or whatever. I mean, do I have to
Okay,
roll a hit?
No, you do the coup de grace. The dust goes a little flying up in the air. There's a fairly large pile of dust. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, and after that, when I get my next action, I am gonna gather up the dust and do I have any kind of container?
No, not really.
In the meantime, I'm going to try a mysticism check. The really crappy mysticism check. Yay.
A 5 will get you absolutely nothing.
It's dust.
Right. So I say, let's all gather this up and throw it into the acid with our hands.
I
Doesn't-
agree.
Well, don't we have a mirror amongst us?
Yes, I have one.
And I explained to Rusty what a mirror would do to this thing if it were so. Like if you hold the mirror up to it, maybe that will I don't know, burn the ashes even more. But like we could just.
I recall from earlier it means that it cannot make melee attacks against you. So your comment does remind me to take out my mirror and hold it in my offhand.
All right. Can you
Now-
help with
now
the
I will
dust?
move-
Yeah.
Now I will move closer and I will grab dust and toss it into the acid.
That's what we're doing.
I'll help with the tossing of the dust.
Okay, you grab the dust, you toss it into the acid. As you're throwing the dust into the acid, the creature reforms and it starts burning Terminator 2 style in the acid,
Nice.
thrashing around, screaming and saying, "The corpse fleet will kill you in the end. We're already there." And she dies.
They're already there. Where is there? Wait, let's bring it back to life. Question it.
Yeah.
Excellent. That was good. I like that it came back to life and killed you both.
That's good. Yeah, vampire. You're right.
Wait,
Excellent.
you like that it came back to life, or you like that it killed them both?
I like both of those things.
I take a 10-minute rest.
Okay, the bone troopers do not come back to life.
They get all their spells back.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah, with
magic
all
one.
their magic missiles back, that would be great.
I actually don't have to take a 10-minute rest because I took no damage.
Yeah,
gonna-
you did.
I'm gonna
actually.
do a heal on Cheddar, but I'm actually okay.
I'm spending a resolve to rest.
Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and take a 10.
Yeah, you took a little damage total, didn't you?
Yeah, I took a little bit of stamina damage, so I'll at least take the 10 minutes to get my stamina back.
I was never hit. It tried to hit me with a crit. but then
Yeah,
I-
well,
mirror image.
you have disease. You have disease.
I have disease.
So
All right, I would like to examine this sniper rifle.
Oh, finally, you want to see what you actually have. Yeah, so after you kill her, and then you kill her again, and then you kill her one more time just for good measure, you go through her stuff, and yeah, sure enough, you flick a little flakes of dust off of it that seems like it's trying to come back to life, and you see that she has on her some really cool armor. She has a really nice rifle, a laser pistol, 2 batteries, and in addition, you find a secure computer data module.
Woohoo! A clue.
And cred sticks. Or no.
I think you're missing that we got the story item, which is very important.
Yeah, you actually got cred sticks back at the other shack. Oh, actually, you did find a cred stick.
Ah,
Cred
see?
stick. Yeah, and a cred stick. I was trying to joke.
How much?
4,000 credits.
nice.
I should go right to me.
So there
I
you go.
like how that they come taking their pocket change to the battle. That is a good thing.
That
It's
is a
like
good
their
thing.
wallet. It's like they're
Yeah.
basically bringing their wallets with them.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right, so what is the sniper rifle?
The sniper rifle is an advanced Sheeran Eye rifle. Is that what you have? Oh,
I
no,
think
you've
I have
seen
that already.
You have that. Yeah, you have one. So you're like, oh, it's an advanced Sheeran Eye rifle. Yeah, I have one of those.
And what about the pistol?
That's a Corona laser pistol.
I think it's like level 4 or something, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
Check it.
okay. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
What about the armor?
That is quite nice. That is a Freebooter Armor Mark II.
I'm looking it up.
Does it have any augment things on it?
It actually did, which is annoying because this was not in her. Actually, was not in her abilities. So she
It has
should come back
slots.
to life earlier.
Actually, Freebooter Armor 2 is only level 6. It's not bad, but
It has a Mark I electrostatic field in it.
all right. That's
It
useful.
also only has one upgrade slot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with anything that's not SDEX armor, I'm finding.
It's actually not very good at our level. Oh well.
Looks cool, though.
And it sells.
Hmm.
For 10%.
Yeah. Well, it's armor. Armor's not bad. Armor is not cheap.
That's
A
certainly true.
few hundred.
My armor
probably.
is always going to be something we find. I'm never paying for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I learned that the hard
All
way.
right. So what else are you guys doing?
What are her other? She's got to have trinkets. Got to have trinkets. Does she have anything
Yeah,
else?
she has a secure data module.
Which obviously we need to break open and hack and all the rest of that stuff.
Right.
How far from town are we at this point? This has all been a very long day of about 6 encounters.
Yeah, you got like an hour till town.
I would say after we rest, we head back. The spider, do you want the spider, Mo?
No, I don't think so. I got 60 stamina, so I don't think we'll have another encounter. I really, really hope we don't have another encounter. What about the skeletons? Can we search them?
Oh yeah, they got
Yeah.
tons of stuff on them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
5 graphite carbon skins, 5 tactical dueling swords, 5 tactical semi-auto pistols, and 5 rings, magic rings.
these were rings of control. I bet. I am going to make
Or
a.
like a spell storing to like keep an extra magic missile or something.
Is it mysticism for magic items?
Mysticism.
Mo rolls a 19 for mysticism.
I don't know. Hold on.
I could assist.
Watch and learn, college boy.
That's right.
Wow, you actually know what this is.
Wow, Mo.
Love it.
They're all the
He
same.
rolled a natural 18 for a 19.
Mark 1 Rings of Resistance, and there's 5 of them.
Ooh, I don't even know what that does.
One of you have one.
I
So-
think it's me. Let me look.
Okay,
Plus
so
one
the
to
rule,
I have a Mark 1 Ring of Resistance.
now the rules are you can only have, I think, 2 magic items on your character, by the way. So that's one.
Boy.
Two magic items?
Yeah.
Not a
permanent magic
problem
items.
there.
Yeah. That's it.
Not
That's
a
what we're allowed
problem
to have.
at all. Those rings are gold.
Well, you can only have one at a time. And all it does is it raises your lowest save.
1, I think.
Yes.
That's it.
It's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's free. It's basically free.
Mo's
free
gonna put one
extra.
on him. Why not? Yeah, I think we should all take one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's 5 of them.
I prefer my ring of sustenance.
To be fair, it's my only magic item. Can I put a second Ring of Resistance on?
Not likely.
No.
They probably don't stack,
No.
right?
They do not stack.
Right.
I mean, I'll
There it
double
is.
check in Hero Lab, but I'm 90.
No, I didn't think
Yeah.
so, but what the hell? I may as well ask.
I don't think so, but I'll try it. I'm not going to do it right this minute, but I can try it in Hero Lab later and let you know. Or you could
Cool.
try it in Hero Lab and you let me know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Mo's gonna put one on right now, if that's possible, before we go to.
Yeah, it takes 24 hours to activate, but sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
That's the thing. All magic items.
Yeah,
they
I'm starting to
take-
learn
They
that.
all take a day.
We don't have
'cause
that
it's
many
like-
magic
Oh,
items.
right?
No.
Because otherwise you just otherwise you could just mix and match. So you can't mix and match. You gotta
Yeah.
commit. It's a long-term commitment in magic.
Sure. No problem.
Other than that, you search the bodies. You're like, all right, these are just bone troopers. They had that armor, some swords. Obviously, they fought to the death. These are very common. This is sort of the shock troops of the entire Yaxin army. They're grunts, nothing more than grunts. But as you can see, fairly effective, fairly good at combat, easy to defeat. But they can dish it out, and obviously no magic.
Yeah, they can.
And this vampire, you killed her. She came back and killed you, but then you killed her again.
Yeah, that was very unmutual of her. I am ready to walk back, and Mo's gonna carry the armor. that's stuff to sell.
And the answer is there is nothing preventing you from wearing both, but you will not get a second benefit.
So for fashion purposes.
Exactly.
All right, you come back into town. It's been a long day, a very, very long day. You guys are covered in wounds. You barely have any stamina left. Mo has died how many times today? 2 or 3 times. We've lost count how many times he's died today. Rusty died once. And Rusty still has to go on that date later tonight, don't forget. And he owes drinks to that guy, too.
I very clearly gave them a false name.
Oh, they know where you're staying. I think they might come by
Oh.
and hit you
Yeah.
up for those.
I may need to stay in a hotel.
Yeah, Mo's going to make a very visible display of the damage that he and Rusty have sustained. Although I don't know, maybe we can't. Maybe
well,
we
you're doing
can't
that,
do that
Rusty.
through our armor.
Through your armor? No, well,
Yeah,
your
we
armor's all
can't do that
messed up
through-
anyhow. Well, anyhow,
Yeah.
you're back into the human area, or sorry, the living area where you don't actually need suits. You can actually breathe the atmosphere. I have lots of good news. The good news is, after this day of hell, you feel stronger, faster, more powerful,
More levelier?
more levelier. Yes,
Nice.
level 7.
Look
After
out.
you do a full rest, because that was some that was some day.
Someone is not going to miss their attacks of opportunity anymore.
That's true. We had like 3 pretty big fights.
Someone
Oh,
feels
like
like he
more.
should solo the rest of the way.
Sure, you can do that. You guys you're just move in. You're almost like zombies, which really is fitting because you're on Yux. You guys can stumble in, go to your room, which of course is like cots on the floor of the office, and crash if you want because that's where she puts you up.
I need to find a doctor.
Oh, for
Oh
what?
yeah, you're diseased.
Oh right, you're diseased.
I would not be opposed to finding a doctor as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some healing somehow.
Oh, like human healing, like before you guys go to bed.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get some when I wake up, but actually, I'll get some for free when I wake up. I'm good.
This is a packed world planet, right? They must have a hospital somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, oh yeah, I mean, this is like a crappy part of town, but you can go into sort of the nicer part of the living, and she's like, yeah, there's a pack world infirmary a couple miles away. They might be able to help you out, patch you up a little. It ain't gonna be free, but if you need to go out there.
I mean, I forget the mechanic of dealing with disease, right? It's a saving throw, and I guess what would a hospital do for me? Give me extended, like a full day bed rest, or I don't know what the deal is. I just want to have the best chance of survival. Disease is nasty, I know that.
Yeah, so basically, if you for every day of bed rest or 2 nights of normal rest, you take one step closer towards healthy. As long as, well, first you gotta cure it. So let's see, curing an affliction, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so in the case of disease, you must fulfill the conditions of disease cure. So you have to have a certain number of saving throws to roll. And you got inflicted by, what the hell did you get inflicted by?
See, the odd thing is, this is like way in the future. Like, they should have medicines that would cure you automatically.
Yeah, but you're talking about many planets worth of diseases. It's actually probably harder when you have that many cross pollinations of all these microbes or technologies and drugs and chemical.
They had a lot of stuff in Star Trek.
Yeah.
They had databases.
Yet they still couldn't.
Yeah, I don't do.
Yeah, but this is a known thing.
Still couldn't cure baldness.
Chris, I'm afraid you're allergic to Retinux 5.
Remove affliction. Okay, page 373.
Yeah, it's either a spell. I mean, basically, if you really want to get it, the answer is magic, or you make fortitude saves, or there are things that can help with the saves, like the medicines and stuff. I forgot. We got to look all that up. It's been a long time, but yeah.
Like, can I pay for?
No, what's remove affliction? How much? What level is that?
Level 3. It's a 3rd level healing spell. Conjuration.
You can go to the hospital.
It's page 373 is what I
pay 1,000 credits to have that cast on you to remove it once and for all.
Well, that comes from the party, though. That comes from the party kitty.
Group loot, yes.
Yeah, group loot, definitely.
Yeah, no, healing like this, yes, it does.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it's still not a pure. You're still not 100%. It's a check of some kind.
Yeah,
but it's better
potentially neutralizes it.
Nope, it does. It actually remove affliction. They make a caster level check, and if they succeed the check, then it goes away. If the target is a creature, you must attempt a caster level check for each cure. So it's 1 disease. Yeah, DC is equal to 4 plus the DC of the affliction. So it's pretty easy, I think. So I don't know what the DC of the affliction is, but success means that it's removed.
We never do spells, so
no, we don't.
So okay,
what are spells?
Yeah. What are spells? What are these spell things?
Yeah, we are the target of spells, is what we are.
So you go to the hospital? Do you
wish
to find a human doctor, or
yes?
What type of doctor are you looking for?
Lashunta, of course. I mean, are there any others?
Sure. So you find
undead Lashunta, not undead human.
Oh yeah, no. Let's see. I'll give you a fighting chance that you find a Lashunta doctor. 5. Yeah, that's gonna say you actually do find a living Lashunta doctor, and there's actually a fair amount here, and it's ironic because most of them work here as a way to pay off their debt to become undead. Anyhow.
That's intriguing. I may want to explore that someday.
Oh yeah, you can. That's actually all these people here. What they do is they work, and then they usually become undead, and then they have to spend a couple of years as indentured servants.
Because undead means eternal life, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a horrible system. I'm disgusted by it all.
It's like ancient Rome, basically, or Greece. And yeah, so you find one. It's Dr. Bashir. There, we'll say it's Bashir.
Nice.
And you're like, and he's like, how may I help you? I see you got some red acne there. Let me guess. Were you playing with some ghouls? Were you playing with some undead?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. Children shouldn't play with dead things. I learned that.
Oh, yes. We get that a lot here, especially you living people. You got to learn, if you're going to get busy with the undead, if you know what I mean, you gotta use some protection, sir. Now, I'm not making any personal judgments on you, but next time, use protection. That's all I'm saying.
Right. District 9. I understand.
So it's like, one remove affliction should take care of that disease. Huh? That's strange. It's on your arms. Usually, it's on. Well, anyhow, let's just skip all that. Let's just cast that. It's only 1,000 credits.
Yep. Here you go, sir. Transfer it.
Excellent. Let's cast that spell. Do that check, and he spends his good. He spends his
Concentrate
hard. Concentrate, and he's gonna do his little thing. Let's see.
There you go.
19 plus a billion easily removes it, and like magic, the red pustules disappear off your arm. And
I love magic.
quote other
Wow.
places.
I may have to take a class. I may have to take a level in Mystic or something. Multi-class.
Does this guy help with like just general healing? Does this guy have like any bonus for that?
You can just mark serum. You get serums probably.
I don't want to buy serums. I want bonus serums.
There's no bonus serums. Yeah, it's called the spider.
I mean, you can pay the money and just say that he heals you from,
How much?
And then-
Yeah, like that's what I want. Does he have that option?
Sort of. I mean, it's basically a level 1 spell's 100 credits, a level 2 spell's 350 credits, level 3 spell is 1,000 credits. So it's
that's
like the spell. There's
My
double the
attitude
price
is-
of a serum.
My attitude is we're probably headed to Absalom or somewhere else from here, so we will have several days on our own ship to rest up. So
That's true.
Yeah. Well, that's true. What's our intel like? Do we get into? Well, I'm not going to heal. We can always do the spider. Did we get any intel from the?
Oh, we didn't look at the
Data
pad yet.
here's the thing.
Yeah, we got the
We-
secure data pad.
Yeah.
We have to try and crack it tonight because in the morning when we level, we'll get an extra bite at the apple. Because you get an extra attempt when you level.
Yeah.
So,
Let's crack it. Crack it.
what do you guys do? Tell me what you do.
gonna
Chris
try
just
it.
left, so he may want to take a separate one. I will assist Tuttle.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that you pick this up. It's a secure data module. It's basically a USB drive. It's not a computer. It's a encrypted hard drive. You attach it to your data pad and you realize your data pad is not nearly strong enough to break this encryption.
Okay.
So
we
that-
need-
Go to
Back to the
Absalom
Starfinder.
Station. Yes.
You can give me a computer's check to figure out what level of computer you will need to even attempt
I assist
to
Dr. Tuttle.
crack this.
+2 to your check.
All right. Hey, 28 becomes a 30.
Do you actually use your brain hacking?
Oh, right. I forgot to give myself the +1 for the integrated data jack or whatever.
So excellent. So you can get a virus in your head. This will be lots of fun. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? Sorry, I didn't mean that. 31. Yeah, you jack in, and sure enough, yeah, this thing needs at least a tier 3 computer or higher to even just get enough access to even crack this thing. I don't think any of you have a tier 3 computer. You can probably buy one if you really want to get onto it, or you can go back to Absalom Station, which has one. So
Yeah. Well, can we rent one, or let's look at computer costs. I think
It
it's
actually
going to be
seems
a
like the
lot.
sort of thing Tuttle ought to have.
Well, let's look at.
a tier 3 computer is $12.50. It's not even that much.
Well, do we have
Presumably
that on
one
our...
could-
Actually, wait a minute. Do we have that on our ship? Have we paid that already?
No, I don't believe so. I don't
Because they
think you
do have
security
computer
consoles.
systems. We did buy a computer system. I remember thinking that was like an unnecessarily.
What did you buy? Let's see. What's on your ship? I forget.
I don't know. I don't know if they're like.
I thought it was a
different
Mark
types of
III.
systems.
I thought it was a Mark III Duo node.
Oh, that's different. That's
That's
not
not
the
a combat computer is not the same as a general.
No.
They don't want a
No.
combat computer? What
No,
kind of
combat
crazy?
computer. That's like saying that's like using your smartphone to play like a PC game.
Wow.
It just doesn't work
Jason,
that way.
would you use would Tuttle use a computer for anything else if we get one?
Fortnite. You can play a little Fortnite on the side.
Uh,
But I mean, Tuttle probably ought to have a computer, so that's probably not a terrible thing to spend money on.
well, I'd be willing to make that group loot. That makes sense to have a.
All right, well, if we want to go out and buy a computer, that would certainly.
What does a computer do?
Well,
Tells us where our next breadcrumb is going to be.
apparently this is actually like a USB drive, and you have to have a Mark III computer to even use it.
Do we have that on the ship, maybe?
No, you do not.
Well, wait a minute. You know
Combat
what?
computer is different from the general computer.
I'm beginning to think that a level 3 might you might need to be a higher level character to actually use it effectively. Like if you use it and then you can't use it again until you're the next level, that would kind of like, or is it
No,
another?
he can use it's a tier. No, he can use up to a tier 6 computer or something. I don't think the tier. Actually, I don't even think that matters. All that happens is he can use anything. The thing is, a tier computer. Let me just explain how it works. Tier 1 computer, which is basically like your iPad, which is what you carry around with you. They cost 50 credits, and the DC to hack a tier 1 is a 17. A tier 2 computer is a DC 21. A tier 3 is a DC 25, and so forth.
Oh, that sounds
So like integrated systems and like
that's-
military hardware
that's
is like a is a tier 10. It's 320,000 credits, and it's a DC of 53 without countermeasures and stuff. It can get pretty complex because you can actually then buy the computer and put on countermeasures and all this. You can go nuts, and there's actually a whole system for this. But if you want to use it, you have two options, as I see it. You either buy a computer, tier 3 or higher. Tier 4 computers, 5,000 credits though. Or go back to Absalon Station, which definitely has the computer and might even have a higher one, which will give you bonuses to hack. You do know that this thing obviously is pretty well protected.
Well,
Why don't we hold off for now?
Yeah,
But we might yet buy it at Absalom when we do.
yeah, I'm
level
thinking
8
Absalon too.
There's like
shopping and stuff.
It's
there's like 4 or 5 pages of computers. It's
Yeah, I'd like to
crazy.
actually go back and review the whole thing on computers
yeah.
as well, just to make sure, because maybe it's worth buying a better one than just tier 3. Maybe we better buy like a 4 or 5.
Can we get to Absalon and get the computer hacked before we level, or is that how would you rather play this?
That's really up to you guys.
Tier
how you
5
wanna
is
do it.
10,000 credits.
Wow. Yeah,
But
I
like
mean, it's
that's
really up to
no, but
you.
that's what it just increases its hack DC. So if someone's trying to hack your computer, like what do you get out of having a computer? I don't understand.
It's a requirement for it's a requirement for a recipe. Like right now, we have a thing that we need a tier 3 computer
Right.
to do. So
would Wynetta trucks have access to a computer we could use?
Not this level.
yeah, I
That
don't
level
think
would be
it's
not
we're
tier
gonna
3.
get that.
Tier
All
3
in favor
is,
of headed back to Absalom, say aye.
I
Eyes have it.
Aye.
All right, there we go.
So by the way, the way it works is if you say use a tier 5 computer, it makes it easier to hack the module. So think of it this way: like if the module's tier 3 and the computer's tier 6, it's just way easier to hack because you have a more powerful computer, which can obviously do more computational math, etc., etc. So there you go.
so do we get to Absalon, or is there an encounter along the way?
Okay, Steve, I go to our ship.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to the ship.
Our ship as
Right.
well.
I launch our ship and I order us to go to Absalom.
All right. You order yourselves to go to Absalon. It will take you 6 days to get to Absalon from here, since you just rolled poorly. How
Right.
do you want to call Chisix? Like, what's your deal? What do you want to do? Any of that stuff?
We call Chessex en route. Sure.
Yeah, we give them the update. Tell them I forget. God, it's been so long.
We tell him everything.
He's like, sorry. Chisix is like, oh, it sounds like you managed to at least find the person in charge. So at least you got a breadcrumb of some sort. Sounds like the League is ahead of us every step, as they even knew you were coming, and they set up a trap. But you, of course, succeeded. Good job once again. But hurry back. We need to decrypt that as fast as possible and get you going because it sounds like both the corpse fleet and the cultists are way ahead of us, and now you have 2 people to deal with. This is not good. This is really, really not good.
So this was a pep talk.
Yeah. I learned that these are 2 different groups. Okay, that's good.
Wait, what's the other group?
The
cult
cultists
and
and
the
the
corpse
corpse
fleet.
fleet are 2 different. I thought the corpse corps was the same basic group.
Well,
Oh,
no,
no,
the
they're
Corpse Corps are the ones who
completely
raided the cult's asteroid and ransacked it. The cultists escaped.
But they're both on the trail of the same doomsday weapon.
Oh, okay.
Which someday will be mine. I mean, someday we're going to stop to save the universe.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds like well, we fly there. So that's what we tell them before we fly to Absalon.
Okay, you have 6 days. You can fully heal during that time. Get all your hit points back. You level up
Yay.
to 7, and that actually is the end of book 3. Believe it or not.
Nice.
Wow, no, that's cool.
Book 3 was a lot of fighting.
I like it. I like book 3.
Book 4 is probably going to be even more, I bet.
Well, Book 3 also featured the writer of Book 3, so that was nice.
Well, I'm sure we'll get the writer of book 4 because the writer of book 4 was Mr. Jason Keeley himself.
Oh, wow. Good.
I
Nice.
think it'll be pretty easy to get him to come on the show.
Well, we know he's busy though.
Well,
Yeah, he's
and that
busy,
said,
but I'll get him without much trouble.
I like this module though.
Yeah, I'd like to get through it, you know.
How many books are there in the entire series?
6, you're halfway through.
Okay.
Literally halfway through. The last 3 are pretty good though, and I did a new thing. I kind of sped it along. I mean, we definitely went faster. I don't think we went a ton faster, but we actually went way faster on book 3. And
oh
I
yes, much.
I think book 4, 5, and 6, they're gonna go fairly fast. I think just because now it's just gonna go a little quicker. I think because the kind of more into the swing of things. They do change it up because, as I said, in book 4 they actually figured out how to write these things. Like book 3 they kind of did, but book 4, like the game was out by the time book 4 was written. So like you could see like, okay, now they're like all the encounters were 1 creature. Well, now you had like 6 creatures, you know, like it's just more of that. Like, oh, okay, now they actually know how to like balance the creatures and balance the combat. So it's they're more interesting than it's all 4 of you against 1 creature over and over and over again, which was kind of getting annoying. But book 4, they should go much faster.
Well, 1 creature and sometimes random invisible tentacle monsters that jump into the fight from the sky. I mean, you know, it isn't.
Well,
just,
that was
I really
leading
liked
encounters.
this. I liked Eox a lot, actually. I really liked that.
Really?
Cool plan. Yeah, I did. It's,
I liked it a great deal.
It's really good flavor. I liked the monsters. The monsters
course
weren't
Rusty likes
super
it.
powerful. We kind of mowed through the that big thing.
the big hulking one. Yeah.
Yeah,
We got lucky.
we got lucky.
Well, I also didn't realize that the radiation actually did know because it's like 1 line. It's like
Yeah, that
oh,
radiation was so bad. Why?
it was bad, but
But
then
it
in the
did no
end,
damage.
it did no damage
We had
after we
suits on
read
it,
the
so.
armor. It would have actually you could have ignored it all along. So it's
Yeah.
a learning lesson for everyone. That in fact that monster, everyone's like, oh, the monster's so bad, it's so evil. I'm like, well, except the radiation is your everyone's
Does
immune to it,
nothing. Well,
and
it
has no
stops
ranged attacks.
for a lot of damage. Yeah,
It does a lot of damage, but I actually wasn't that like if a monster doesn't have a ranged attack, I'm not impressed because then it's really easy to get away. Because you can just run away, fire,
Kite
run
it.
away,
Yeah,
fire,
or
you
split
can
up,
kite
and
it.
it's
You
wasting
can
its time.
totally kite it.
Yeah.
It's very easy to kite those.
What's our total experience right now?
21,000 is level 7. I don't remember.
23, I think.
23, something like that.
All right, I'm taking a level of Mystic. No.
We could.
Well, you're our healer now. That's excellent.
There's nothing I can do to kill you. There's no way I can kill you.
You killed Rusty and you killed Mo.
Man, they just died. They
Briefly
just
scratched
dropped.
us. It was
I
fine.
know. The thing is, it's so easy to come back.
I actually am sad that I forgot to take out my mirror beforehand. Oh well.
It actually.
I think we got a feat at this level.
Before we leave Eox, does anyone want to get any like necrographs? Is Hiroji looking at replacing his arms or legs or head or something?
I've poo-pooed that idea.
You sure?
No, necrogaphs are gross. I don't want those.
Yeah, very gross.
Yes. Okay. No necrographs.
I'd rather be
I mean,
dead than undead.
Someday I may want to come back and work in servitude to become undead and have eternal life, but that's not today.
Okay. So with that, you guys could, and you're level 7, so we have a fair amount of things to do here. So I would say the first thing we do is you jump on the ship. You say goodbye to all your friends, your Eoxian friends.
Bye.
You jump on the ship. I remember, I think I said 6 days for you to get back because I rolled high. So 6 days to get back to the station. Hiroji can do his online course. I don't know if there's anything else you guys.
That's what I was doing in real life all day today.
Oh, well, there you go. You're playing fantasy, and in the fantasy game, you're learning and taking courses, and in real life, you're learning and taking courses. So
Exactly.
there you go.
It's like Inception. It's the dream within the dream.
The top keeps spinning and it won't stop.
Is there anything else you guys want to do during that time?
Well,
Rob wants to go through the big pile of garbage on the of gear on the ground and see what he can do.
And I already know what I want. I'd like the advanced Shiranai rifle. Thanks.
boom.
That's actually not
Done.
not a long rifle.
Yeah, that's a sniper.
Sniper rifle. It's
That's
a different
okay.
category.
You
Wait,
literally
seriously?
picked out the one thing you can't
You're
use.
not proficient.
That is correct.
Sniper is
And-
listed as a special, not as a category. I was just looking through weapons.
It's not a long arm.
It's a special under sniper weapons, two-handed weapons. Okay, well there you go.
I think there's a feat that you can take to get it, and I
No,
get
that's
it for
fine.
free.
Thunder Strike Street Sweeper, then I'll take.
Thunderstrike.
Sounds cool.
Well, I'm not happy about it. Actually, I need a level 8 weapon, but there it is.
It would be nice to see some damage.
Well, and I would have with the advanced Shiranai, but now I can't use that. So there it is. This game is not good about damage just
Well,
from
you
weapons.
don't have to be a damage dealer. You're a support class.
Well, and I am, as a matter of fact, and actually I'm leaning into that, and I'm
No,
going to be doing
he's
more and
good.
more of that.
He should do damage.
I think damage is a good thing.
He got a lot of killing blows too. So that's there's no complaints.
You have a big pile of gear that you found. You have like the ghoul soldiers. You have Zira, Vesh, the vampire who you killed. All those bone troopers. They just had like graphite skins and tactical auto rifles, crap like that. But one thing they did have, which was nice, is 5 Mark 1 rings of resistance.
Oh yeah.
So everybody gets one of those, I'd imagine, if you didn't
Yep.
have one already.
Oh yeah.
And then in terms of credits were pretty good. Altogether, you guys got, I haven't done the full total, but I'm like looking here. What was it, like 6? I'm just doing the math here. You got 6,000, 5,000, 7,000, 4,000. So what is that? That's about, doing the math. So 22,000 credits from this adventure.
Wait, that's from this adventure, or that's our total? I think that's our.
that
total.
actually,
That's our
that's
total.
your total.
Yeah.
Right, not divided up. So
Right.
approximately 22-ish thousand credits just in cred sticks, like lying around on the ground. So you guys actually have a fair amount of creds that you'll be able to spend. And then, of course, we'll go through and sell. Of course, you did have to spend 1,000 credits to remove that disease from Hiroji, because otherwise he's going to turn into a ghoul.
But we didn't have to, if you really think.
Well,
It's communicable. We had to.
it would have been bad.
Oh well, if I could get it, okay, then we.
Yeah, definitely.
It's airborne.
Well, then yeah,
Um,
he would have started gnawing on you guys.
Yeah. So the one thing I'll kick this off. Also, I'd like to start on group loot is buying 20 health serums for anyone who happens to take damage, which is basically
quote unquote anyone. Were you
Yeah,
doing
anyone who
words while you
happens-
said
Well,
that?
actually, you
For
guys put
anyone
some
who takes
damage,
damage. Yeah, sure.
That's basically 250 credits each.
So you already have
Yep.
14 Mark 1 Serum of Healing, which is, I mean, you guys are going to be
This is-
having
we're-
like
yeah,
nearly
but we're gonna be
100
gone
hit
for a-
points at this point.
Yeah, but we're
So-
going to be gone for a long time, so we can. I just don't want to buy them next time if we don't have to.
Okay. Well, why don't we get to the station? So
All
we'll
right,
get
we
to the
arrive
station.
at Absalom without
Ta-da!
any
I
space
I want to go
wells.
through any
back
of our
it
new
up.
abilities.
No, first let's go through Absalon, and then we'll go through your level 7 characters, because it's fairly important we do this in this order, as you'll see why in a second. So, what do you do? I'm not going to tell you what you do. What do you do? I presume you're going to go see Chessex, which is
Chessex,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
All right, you guys run over to Chessex. Let's here you go. Ta-da! You're at Chessex. Same office as always, and he's I would say it. It's very excited to see you. And it's like, oh, bring it here. Let's see the computer module. I have a computer set up here for you, Tuttle. It's not connected to any of the other systems, in case there's some space virus on there that tries to wipe out everything or God knows what. Anyhow, yeah, let's see what you can find on that thing.
All right, I will give a computer's check to see if we can decode this thing.
I assist.
He rolls,
35.
he rolls a 35, Jason. Tuttle. He easily managed to disable the module. First, you had to sort of disable all the firewalls.
Countermeasures or whatever.
Yes, the countermeasures. And there's a firewall and a wipe countermeasure. And that was the very first thing you did. You'll need to do one more check to access the data because there's 2 countermeasures. So the 35 is the first one.
Mo assists with a 12.
That is correct. You do assist. Tuttle once again rolls a 33 with the assist.
Somebody
No
roll
problem.
something for me. That's fine.
You don't need to. He already got it in. He manages to successfully hack it. Although this is supposed to be hard for Tuttle, it's sort of just a walk in the park. He's like, yeah, this is child's play.
Well, Mo assisted though, so that makes it easy.
He's got the passwords taped to the bottom of the computer. Oh, okay.
So you're able to break in, wipe the countermeasures, wipe the firewall, do everything. You successfully hack Captain Vesh's secure data module, and you discover that it contains the data that was deleted from the data core of the Star Eater's spine. This data reveals that the Cult of the Devourer left the secret base, the asteroid base, to search for the Gate of the 12 Suns in a distant star system named Najor, based on the cultist interpretations of Naya's prophecies. Najor's coordinates are somewhere deep in the vast, and the electronic signature of this data matches that of the hacker who scrubbed the files from the cult's computer systems, confirming that the corpse fleet visited the Star Eater's spine, accessed the data core, and learned the cult searching for the Najor system for the key to the alien superweapon. With that, Mr. Chessex quickly types in the coordinates and looks at you and says, "Oh, this ain't good. Najor, that is very far away, deep within the vast. And it sounds like you have not one, but 2 groups that have a significant head start on you. It can take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to get to that system. I have a feeling you might not be coming back. This might be a one-way trip where you either find and destroy the super weapon or we all die."
Dun, dun, dun.
Way to think positive.
I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
Hey everyone, Steve here. So yeah, they survived. It's actually kind of hard to kill someone in Starfinder, as I found out. But don't worry, I have a feeling that someone is going to die before this entire adventure is over. In fact, I kind of guarantee it. What? Well, anyhow, yeah, next week we're going to be starting Book 4, The Ruined Clouds, by show friend Jason Keeley. I'll definitely try to have him on the show, since this was the very first Adventure Path adventure he ever wrote, and I think it's really good.
I really definitely have to get him on the show, have to get Rob Tremarco on the show. Those guys always play those detectives. I think I have a way of getting those detectives back on the show. So everyone do look out for that in the near future. As for the PaizoCon giveaway, I forgot to mention, not only do you get free hotel and airfare, but of course we also get you the 4-day badge and the banquet as well, because what's the point of going to PaizoCon if you can't actually go to the con? So yes, you get everything, and look for that next week. Good news is Paizo said they were going to help out with promotion, so do look for that, as I have a feeling a lot more people are going to be entering it this year. Although we had a lot of entries last year, but I think we're going to get a ton of entries this year. So as for my GMPC tip, this one's a pretty simple one, but I've noticed I've been using it more and more, and it's a fun one, and that is have your enemies surrender. Now, a big tip, which is sort of tied into this, is trying to use emotion in encounters. And obviously, when you're fighting someone, it's more or less, if you think about it, numbers. It's like, I'm rolling a die, and my numbers versus your numbers, and oh, I beat your number, therefore my number does damage to you, and then you die. And it's all kind of arbitrary. But as soon as you start putting emotion or characters into fights, things change dramatically. And one of my favorite things is a lot of monsters can surrender, especially humanoids. Now you got to be a little careful with this. You got to make sure you kind of plan how they're going to surrender and what information they can give up and what to do with the character after they surrender, because you kind of have to run them as well as the rest of the campaign, and that can get a little taxing. But it does lead for very interesting decisions. I've seen it with these guys a few times where, okay, they're fighting someone, and then the bad guy surrenders, and then suddenly it's not quite so easy to kill the bad guy when you're having a conversation with them. Well, except for Roji, who seems to just kill people in cold blood. But in general, most humans, even if you are playing a character, find it difficult to just shoot people in cold blood, and will usually try to talk to them and try to figure out information. And even to expand upon last week's episode, in where I talked about giving the players information, that is an amazing way to give your PCs information, is have someone surrender, and then they can give the PCs tons of bad guy information. Now, one issue that people have with that is, okay, what do you do with the bad guy once they surrender? And usually after about 5-10 minutes, their usefulness can run out. Well, that's tricky. That is a difficult subject. You can have them sort of toad along. You can have them just sort of get holed up and just asked to surrender. One thing I like to do is I like to make the NPCs a real pain in the neck. I like to basically have them badger the PCs endlessly, asking if they can be let go, asking if they can go home, asking if their wife and kids can see them, just sort of humanize them and make it really difficult for the PCs to actually kill this guy off. It's just fun. I mean, it's just a fun way to sort of add a new dimension to the game. And for those of you who are curious, one of my absolute favorite PC games in the entire world of all time is No One Lives Forever. If you haven't played this game, it's actually nearly impossible to find now because it's never come out again and never reprinted. But look on YouTube, because I'm sure you can find these conversations. But one of the best parts about that game is that you can go up to bad guys, sneak up on them, and listen to their conversations. And they would talk about bad guy health plans. They would talk about comparing bad guy organizations and the pluses and minuses between the organizations. And it's all these things. It's sort of like if you took bad guys in The Office and combined it into something. That is what these conversations were like. I strongly recommend you find these on YouTube because they are hysterical. It just adds this whole new dimensionality to bad guys that you don't consider. And some talk about their problems at home and all their experiences between different bad guy organizations. And I realize some movies and TV shows have expanded into this, but I feel that none of them really did it justice like No One Lives Forever. That one is by far my favorite video game. It has some of the best dialogue I've ever heard, and that can give you some ideas of how you could expand upon your bad guys and sort of give them almost a little bit of flavor and background and make them more than one-dimensional. Anyhow, the whole point of making them surrender is to do that, is to sort of add dimensionality to them, sort of breathe some life into the bad guy organization, into the big bad that the PCs are usually chasing or fighting, and then they have almost a better understanding of what's going on. As for the NPC, I wouldn't worry about him too much. It really becomes the PC's fault once the NPC surrenders and what they're going to do with him. I wouldn't make it too taxing on the PCs. I wouldn't make it that they become completely overbearing, because otherwise you have them just, well, they're going to kill them outright. That's why. Another interesting dynamic, if any of you watched the Orville this week, the Orville also coincidentally just happened to talk about this very subject, kind of in a different way. It's one of those subjects when good guys and bad guys kind of have to work together, and they have to see goodness in each other even though they hate each other. Again, this makes for a very fascinating topic in any of your games, and I strongly suggest you try to explore this whenever possible. As for show notes this week, I know most of you guys skip these, but I strongly suggest you don't skip these in the next couple of weeks if you want to go to PaizoCon for free, because this is where I'm going to be putting all that PaizoCon information. New podcast every Tuesday. Do subscribe to us on iTunes and Android. I'm going to say right now that will be a requirement for the PaizoCon contest, as well as subscribing to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. All that's going to be requirements, so you might as well get that out of the way right now if you want to go to PaizoCon for free. I'm just saying. If you don't know where to find us, just go to rollforcombat.com. There's links there for all of our social media channels. Also, do check out our Jason's Talking Combat column every Thursday. Do join our Discord. We've actually getting a whole bunch of people joining. If you want to play some play-by-post games, we just started a whole bunch. Just go to discord.rollforcombat.com. You can check out our Reddit channel. Also, do check out our Patreon if you want to help support the show. So again, don't forget, next week we start Book 4, The Ruined Clouds by Jason Keeley of Dead Sons. And if you notice, one thing I'm kind of proud of is that we've been doing each book a little bit faster. I've been getting a little bit more fine-tuned with the game. Also, be honest, we know the rules a lot better now. Obviously, when we first started this over a year ago, none of us knew the rules. Everything was new. And I actually think Book 1 is one of the most complex books to run. Not just for Starfinder, but for any adventure path. There's a lot going on in that book. And I think Books 4, 5, and 6 are a little bit more straightforward. I don't think there's simpler transitions between the encounters. Just are a little smoother, a little faster. So I think we'll probably get it down to about 20 episodes per book. Maybe even less. We're going to find out. Anyhow, with that, I'll talk to you and see you guys next week.
You've been listening to Roll for Combat, a Starfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com or drop us a line at contact@rollforcombat.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and other social media platforms. You've been listening to Roll for Combat. Until next week, always remember that Magic Missile can solve any problem.